Hello, and welcome to another episode of Shou Talks. Today, I am joined by the amazing, incredible, gorgeous, beautiful, and fierce, because I've seen her in the gym, Carmen B. I will let her pretty much let you guys know who she is, and then we're going to take it away. So I'm going to give Carmen the floor to introduce herself and tell her story.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, of course.
I am Carmen B. of Heal with Carmen B, which is an acronym for Healthy Energy, Actively Living. And just to tell you a little bit about Heal, it's a health and wellness business that really promotes the healing of women of color and encouraging, supporting, assisting women on their journey to healing and manifesting love in every area of their lives.
Yes.
And I mean, it's been an amazing journey for me to start this business, and I started this business because of my own need for healing.
Right.
And when I began my healing journey several years ago, I was in a very dark place of where I was at a point in my life where I was suicidal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, depressed, really insecure, felt like there was really no reason for me to be living.
Right.
And at one point I realized, I said, there has to be more to life than I've accepted.
Right.
And that's when I set out to begin my journey, which was the hardest.
I agree.
task, right? Because to begin a healing journey means to make a shift.
Right.
It also means that you have to leave old shit behind.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so that is old behaviors, old thoughts, old people, and family,
Yes.
right?
Right.
Like some things you just have to let go of
Right.
in order to break free from imprisonment,
Right.
The imprisonment of your mind.
Right.
When I began that journey, and it's still a journey, right? It's a lifelong journey.
Absolutely.
There's no destination.
Right.
There's hard times, there's really challenging times, but as you set out on that journey, it's always staying for you and remembering why you started that journey. And the days that you want to look back is turning back to those values.
Right.
Values that you've developed, remembering who you're becoming, right? And becoming is forever. But I know the woman that I aspire to become can no longer accept the things that I did in the past.
Right.
Because it's not conducive to my energy.
Right.
And as you begin your healing journey, I always tell people, hey, the first word in health is heal. And in order to get healthy, you have to heal.
Right.
And that's healthy mind, body, and soul. Right. And so I promote mind wellness, body wellness, emotional, spiritual wellness. And when you having a breakthrough, like the shift is really happening for me, your energy changes.
Right.
Completely.
It does.
Your thoughts change, the way you handle situations change, the way you handle people change, the way you handle yourself change. And that's what I call healthy energy. And then the actively living is you really begin to live. You're no longer surviving or living the day-to-day of just hoping tomorrow will be a better day, but you're actually living and experiencing joy. So that's where healthy energy and actively living comes from.
Carmen, ciao. You said so much right there. Like literally, I was taking notes as you were speaking, and the last part. And I mean, I'm gonna have other questions that I want to ask, but I definitely want to emphasize on the comment you just said right now: surviving versus living. Because a lot of people don't realize that there is a difference between I just got to make it to tomorrow. I just got to make it to tomorrow. I got to make it to tonight. I got to make it through the day versus waking up and living your life. And I think that that's something that a lot of people don't necessarily notice that they're doing, or they don't notice that they're surviving. They think they're living, but nah, bro, you're in a battle all day, every day. My question to you is, and if you don't mind sharing that part, but what was your breaking point? Like, when did you get to the point where you're like, nah, this has got to change? Or when did you notice that you were surviving?
Where all I did was cry.
Mm.
And all I did was pray that things would get better, right?
Mm-hmm.
I never, just thank you, Lord. Like in where I am now, thank you, Lord, for this day. But it was, Lord, please just help me through this day.
Right.
Lord. And then it's also like relationships. And I was in a toxic relationship, right?
Right.
So when you're in a relationship, that's where your challenges really show their face.
Absolutely.
That's where your insecurities really, really show up, because it challenges who you are as a person, how you feel about yourself. It challenges your insecurities. It challenges everything. And those things rear their ugly heads when you are in a relationship.
Girl.
And I felt in that relationship, I didn't know who I was, and I could not be my best self. I couldn't show up as my best self. I didn't even know what the fuck my best self was.
Right.
I show up as my best self for my children, right? So because I was just in survival mode, I was also surviving as a mother. Right? I said the kids, good, go.
Right.
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 I wasn't pouring into those kids because I also wasn't pouring into myself.
Right.
When I knew that if I did not receive love and attention from someone else, I felt unworthy. If I was continuously seeking love and attention and constantly feeling like I was being rejected, there was no point in me living. This does not add up. But the crazy part is, like you said, right? A lot of people don't even know that they're surviving. Why?
Right.
Because it becomes your norm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? It becomes your normal everyday life. And for me, I had to do a lot of deep digging to go back to, why the hell do I behave like this? And that began for me in therapy. Right? What is this? What is this about? And it took it all the way back to my childhood. Right? My childhood of being motherless, right? Growing up without a mom. My mom died when I was 1 year old.
Oh, sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and then when my mom died, my dad left pretty much, and he was an addict. You know? So then I was parentless, right? So then I saw my father sporadically. So every time I saw him, I yearned for him. Then he was gone. So
it becomes a habit.
Right. So it became that habit of, whenever he comes, I just take whatever my dad will give me, because I know he's not going to stay long. So while he's there, I'm going to suck up whatever I can, but I know he's leaving. And then I was molested my whole childhood. And so when I went back and I had to rehash those memories, I was like, oh, shit. That's what this is. Everything that I experienced in trauma as a child was manifesting in my adult. And I never realized that, because one, I didn't become a junkie.
Right.
I didn't become an alcoholic. I didn't become a prostitute. And there are many women out there with a similar story to mine that unfortunately took that path as their way of coping.
Right, right.
So because that wasn't my path, it was, oh, I'm good. I made it. Like, I'm strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is your path.
Right.
Your path became codependency. You depend on men to give you love and attention.
And validation.
And validation. You're promiscuous because you're searching for someone to validate you, and it's not happening, so you just keep doing it over and over again. That's your journey. You're not good. That was their journey. This is yours.
And that's your survival.
And that was my survival.
Right.
And I just didn't want to. I was tired. I was tired, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So with fear, I set out to release that toxic behavior. And releasing that toxic behavior was so scary for me, because it was all I knew.
Right. Right.
It was all I knew. So now when I stopped doing that, when I stopped saying, no, I'm not going to abuse my body, because I never say I let men abuse me. I abuse me. Right?
Yes.
It is anything that I didn't welcome. So, when I hear people talk about, this, I let men do this to me. No. Well, men did this to me. No, honey, you did that to yourself. Right? You have to take responsibility.
Yes.
And so I stopped abusing myself.
Right.
I stopped entertaining people just for sake of being wanted.
Right.
For sake of being told that I look good. And started telling myself that I want it. Started telling myself that I look good.
Right.
Started realizing that I don't need people to validate me because I can do that all by myself.
Facts.
And that was the hardest thing to do in life.
Yes, I love that you are very transparent about it, because it's something that we as women are, instead of owning our truth and learning from it and learning that no, I did this. It wasn't, oh, I these three dudes down the street, they played me. No, sweetheart. You knew what they were about, and you decided to go that path. And the fact that you took that ownership and you flipped it, that is something so powerful beyond words. And honestly, like, you're speaking, I'm getting goosebumps, and I'm just like, yo, you are even dope. Like, I already thought you were dope as it was, but like, just hearing you speak, you can hear the path that you've gone through. You can hear the lessons that you've learned. You can hear the courage and the confidence that you didn't have to, watch somebody else do it. And I just had an episode where I spoke about parenting your parent, or, having a bad, the bad role of a parent. And, it's either you become your parent or you become the opposite of your parent, because the fact, you didn't have that ideal, quote unquote, figure in front of you. I love that, you learned to break your bad habit, to break your cycle. I'd love for you to talk a little more about, how you learn to break that bad habit, because we all, have our habits. And like what you said, the hardest thing is not only just, okay, realizing this is an issue, I got to change it, but making that change and sticking to that change. I'd love for you to touch on that just a little more.
The only way to break that habit is the word I. You can no longer say, my mother didn't teach me this. My father didn't teach me this. No one did this, so I now have to go. No, I am responsible for it. Maybe I did not have those things, but now I can make a shift. I can break my cycles and choose who I want to be.
Right.
So in my program that I offer, where I do my group coaching, Manifesting Love, often you'll hear people, well, that's just the way I am. No, honey, that's the way you want to be. Right? I'm going to always keep it funky with you.
Right.
People call me like I just really, no. Remember who you're calling. So I'm always going to reflect back to you,
right,
your role, your responsibility.
Right.
The only way to make a shift is to take responsibility. We can't say, my supervisor did this, so I did this. Because you know what I hear? I am a puppet. Right? My mother didn't do this, so I do this. That means your mother is still in control. I was molested as a kid, so I was doing this. So that means your molester is in control. Every time you make that shift to what people have done and why you respond, you are a puppet. You have no control. You have given all control over your thoughts, your behaviors, your emotions to other people. You've empowered them. The only way to make that shift is to take the power and place it where it belongs.
Right.
And to know you have the power. Right? Like I kept been putting up this post lately that's own your power. Yeah. You have to own your power.
Right.
You have to stop playing the blame game because you want to be a victim. Because it's easier. Because it sounds better. It's easier to place blame as opposed to saying, I could have done something differently.
Right.
When I cuss people out, I can't say they make me mad.
Yep.
I have to say I lost control.
I let myself come out of character.
I let myself get out of character.
Right.
I'm disappointed in how I responded. I could have taken a step back and did better. You can't, well, I did this because when people call me and they said, I said, no, honey, no, are you a puppet? I'm a puppet. Right? And so it's all about I don't want to hear anything about, in my program, you're not going to talk to me about your relationship. You're not going to talk to me about your mother. Well, my mother is just not a good mother. Who cares?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who cares?
You're a whole adult now.
You're a whole adult now. Exactly. Who cares? Is your mother responsible for you still? And you cannot change who your mom is. That's who she is.
Right. Right.
So who are you going to be? And that's what I said. Who am I going to be? I'm not going to be who my mom wants to be. My mommy tells everybody, meet Carmen. This is my most disrespectful child. And this is, so my mom is someone who raised me, and I call her mom. And she helped my grandmother raise me. And for a long time, I was codependent on my mom, always wanting to please her. And then I got to that point where I was like, Mom, I don't care how you feel. I really don't care. I don't care.
Right.
Right? And she tells people, she is my most disrespectful child because she don't do what I tell her to do, and I never will.
Yeah.
Because I have to do what works for me. So we have to break those family cycles, break those family traditions that do not serve you. Right?
Yes.
Break those family expectations that do not serve you. Who are you hanging with? Who are you talking to every day?
Yes. Yes.
Break cycles that are causing you to stay in stuck places. If you're not growing from it, it's killing you.
Right.
That's
right.
it.
I have been, and I tell a lot of people, because a lot of people will see that I've changed in my motive and how I speak and how I carry myself. And it's because it's exactly what you say. There has been such a level of toxicity in how I grew up, and I tell people, I'm just like, your family can be toxic. Like a lot of people look at their family like, oh no, I have to do this because it's my mom. I have to do this because it's my sibling. I have to do this because no, that they can be toxic. They can be the ones to hold you back. If you are not able to stand on your own 2 feet and to your family, then the world is going to eat you alive. And listening to you, say that, like your mom will say you're the most disrespectful because she doesn't listen to me. Me listening to you doesn't mean that I'm disrespectful. Doesn't mean I'm respectful.
I laugh at it.
Yep.
Yep, that's me. Disrespectful Carmen.
Yep. Who else want it? Who else want it?
That's it, because I know my values.
Right.
And I know who I am.
Right.
No one can tell me who I am. I know who I am.
Yes. Yes.
Right? When you know who you are, no one can tell you who you are. People can call me all types of names, and I say, I'm sorry you feel that way. I know who I am. I don't own any other narrative than what I've placed on myself.
Right.
What God has assigned for me. Period.
Two things I want to touch on. So you've gone through everything you have to. You've created this amazing human being that I have the opportunity of speaking to. When did you become comfortable telling your story? Because of course, you had to go through everything. You had to build this confidence within yourself. But when did you say, I got to start telling people that they can make it?
Ooh, that was hard, because you know what? There was a lot of shame behind my story. And I think for a long time, that's also what kept me in that place, is the shame of what I experienced as a child. But I also realized that I'm not the only person who has gone through this, and someone needs to hear this.
Right.
Someone needs to know that they can overcome.
Right.
Because I did it. I know people who molestation has taken them down.
Yeah.
Down completely. And I can see how and why. Trust, I can.
Yeah.
But when I realized that my story is not mine.
Yeah.
It's not mine. And I had to pray on that, like, God, you really want me to go tell people, like, what happened to me? How do you do that? How
Right.
do you tell Like, yo, I was molested by all these men that are very close to our family. How do you tell people that? So I had to start at home with my mom and my aunt and continue to seek others that I can feel comfortable enough to talk to. And as I began talking to people, more and more people were like, yeah, I went through that too. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And you would be surprised to know that there were so many women who have been molested in our community.
Yeah.
Who just are afraid. Some women don't even realize they have been molested until they spoke with me, and it was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I was molested. I remember when I was raped by my first son's father.
Oh.
And in my mind, I didn't realize that I had been raped until I was a grown-ass woman. Why? Because my body had been abused so much as a child that in my mind that this is just what men do.
Right. Right. It goes back to the surviving versus living.
Exactly. This is just what men do. And years later, I was like, oh, he raped me.
Yeah.
You know, and so I realized that God put me in a place to bring other people out. The only way I can bring other people out is through transparency,
right?
Through honesty. And I'll never tell people I still don't feel some levels of shame.
Right.
For a long time, I felt like it was my fault that I experienced what I did. And I still have those feelings to this day.
Right.
Like, to this day, I still think about, like, what could I have done differently to not make that happen to me? And then I say, girl, you was a baby. You were a kid. There was nothing that you could have really done. You were scared, you know? So the first really spoke out loud was I had a launch in February.
This past February.
Yeah, this past February is where I had was like in a room full of people. Prior to that, I spoke to individuals, spoke to family members.
Right.
This was the first time in a room full of people that I told this story. And girl, like tears in my eyes, like wow, like hearing me say out loud, this was my experience. This is my story. And then to say it and be like, damn, all that happened to you? Dang.
And here you are.
Right. And that's what it is. With tears in my eyes. Damn. And look at you now. Right? Family told me I would never be shit, got pregnant at 13.
Yeah.
Made sure they told all my other cousins, don't hang with her. She's a hoe.
Right.
She is a whore. You're going to end up just like her. They told me your life is over. You'll never amount to anything. My whole family.
Right.
Right? But because of what I've experienced, I feel stronger than ever now. Yes, I was angry for a long time with God. Like, why would you let me go through all that?
Right, right.
But there were so many people that I have been brought here to offer healing.
Yeah.
There were so many women that I have sat down with and supported and brought through. And that is the greatest joy of my life, is to tell my story now and let women know that no matter what you go through, own your power. No matter what you go through, you can come out if you want to. Suffering is a choice. What will you choose? You don't have to suffer. You suffer is because you want to be a victim. Let's be honest.
Right, right.
What will you do? Suffering or joy?
Carmen, child, you have literally, and listen, I'm a talker, but you have, I can talk for days, on nights, on months. You have me speechless and like just sensation going through my entire body. Like I cannot wait for COVID to be done so I can like put together a panelist and have you on there, because this is a story that, like you said, women go through these things and don't know it.
Right.
They don't, not only do they not know it, they don't know that they can survive it. they don't know that they can become better than what they think they are, because they in their mind, they're stuck.
Right.
I can't go anywhere. My family has told me I will never amount to anything, so I will not. I was raped, so I'm just gonna become a tool for the rest of my life. This is who I am.
Right.
I can't. Because.
Yep.
Excuse. And yet there are people.
I'm harsh.
Yeah.
I'm real.
Oh no.
I'm here to give you hugs and kisses.
No.
I'm here to tell you that you can overcome. Let me show you.
Child.
When women for me, I'm just not ready. Like, I get a lot of my calls that I do, my breakthrough sessions, and I'll have women that say, "Oh my God, this sounds amazing. I just don't think right now is the time. Like, I have a lot to figure out." And I tell them, all I hear is, "I'm not important enough for this." That's all I hear. It's no, okay, but when you're ready, just let me know. All I hear is, "I'm not ready to choose me." There's no right time to choose you. I'll do it next year. I'm going to suffer for the rest of the year, and then next year I'll choose me. That's all I hear.
Yeah. That's what's being said.
Starting today.
Right. Because if it was something for someone else, would you have the same answer?
Jump on it.
Listen. Because that was me. I was the type of person where if I'm shopping and I see something I really like, I'm like, no, I guess I don't need it. But if I'm buying something for someone else, I'll spend $400, $500, $600 without a blink of an eye. But I'm struggling for $30. $30 on myself.
Right. And that comes from culture.
Yep.
Right. My grandmother always raised me, and she would always tell me, you have to be good to people so that people will love you. She always told me, if you want to get a man, you got to know how to cook and clean. How do you do it so that people will come to you?
Yes.
And so that's what I spent my life doing, taking care of everybody but me.
But you.
Not no more.
Nope. And that's why people have a problem with it.
Oh, but guess what? The people who have a problem with it are not the people for you.
Right.
That's what you need to know.
Right.
Anyone who has a problem with your no, you're not right now, your I cannot, are not the people who belong in your life. When somebody tells me no, it's like, all right, thank you, I appreciate it.
Be blessed.
I'm the queen of no. No. I'm going to take a, my mother would say, so you'd rather take a nap than go help them. Yes.
Yes.
Talk to you later.
They'll be there when I wake up.
My ringer goes on Do Not Disturb at exactly 8 p.m. My family considers me a very selfish person because of that. Carmen, what if there's an emergency? 911. Listen, in the middle of the night, I can't help you.
Yeah.
And I have to deal with this emergency on full rest.
I mean, because let's be honest. If there's an emergency, I gotta call 911 anyway. You might as well.
What are you calling me? What I'm gonna do? Revive you?
I had a friend. Her mom said that. Her mom was like, "Don't put me as your emergency contact. Put 911." Like what?
Right. I love her mother already.
Okay, that was the realest thing I've ever heard.
Gotta choose yourself.
And once you start doing that, because that's it, and it's not even just your breaking habits or your stopping habits. I see it as you are replacing habits. You are replacing. You're putting yourself first.
That's it.
You're taking care of your star player. Because if your cup is half empty, or if your cup is empty, how you gonna get out there? How can you make do with an empty cup?
Right? Don't feel that's okay.
Yeah.
It's just a part of the transition.
It is. It absolutely is.
You wake up in the morning, you're gonna be like, damn, I really said no. Look at that. Look at me.
Look at me waking up this morning with 2 eyes, 1 nose, mouth.
I really did that. And guess what? And they made it. And they're all set.
They figured it out.
Okay.
Girl. I do want to get into the rapid fire and have some fun questions, because I think you're gonna give me some interesting answers. So I'm gonna need you to clear your mind and just tell me the first thing that comes to mind. You ready?
Okay.
All right.
Ready.
What TV family would you be a part of?
Ooh. I think I would be a part of the Greenleaf TV family
Oh, interesting. Explain.
because there's a lot of codependency in that family, a lot of feel of needing to prove yourself, a lot of lies and hiding to preserve the family secrets and toxic cycles. And then they need someone like me to, no, you lie. Mommy and daddy, you lying too. And all y'all doing is bop, bop, bop. Don't want to hear it.
Facts.
Pack mashed potatoes, please.
And it's always the church folks, no shade, but I'm just saying.
I want to tell old boy's wife, first of all, sister, you're married into the family. You're not really family. Shut up.
You can be erased and replaced.
Okay? Don't you talk to my mother that way, girl. I'll jump across the stage. Don't nobody talk to my mother like that but me.
All right. If a movie was made about your life, what would the genre be, and who would play you?
Suspense.
Okay. And who's playing you?
Is that a genre?
I think so. I think it's like suspense thriller. I think they fall into the same thing.
All right. And who would play me? I would choose Jill Scott.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yes, she got to play me.
What's the weirdest thing in your purse?
Okay, well, I carry a fanny pack. And
Listen, I do too. It's so convenient.
I don't know if floss would be considered weird, but just stuff from my teeth.
That's a source. That's resourceful.
Yeah, I'm gonna say floss.
Okay. What's the best vacation you've ever taken?
Oh Lord,
Mm.
I'm just gonna have to say Jamaica.
It's so beautiful.
Oh, so I've been there 6 times. That's why it's of course always gonna be in my top.
Yes.
It's a place where you can just be yourself. That like when I hear people go, "Oh, I gotta lose weight because I'm going to Jamaica." Listen, they don't even want you if you lost weight. So.
They like a big girl. Listen.
Hold on to that so you like and eat a little more for you. Okay, because that's what they coming for. That's what you want.
Go on, butter them rolls, sis. Butter them rolls.
One of the places where you can just be free.
Right.
Be very free and really relax.
I know.
It's highly recommend. Highly recommend.
Oh yes. What is your last thought before bed?
Oh, thank you, God. Thank you, God. My last thought before bed is just thank you, God. I made it.
Right.
I
Right.
made it.
If you could teleport anywhere, where would you go and why?
If I could teleport anywhere, I would go to Honduras.
Mm.
My family's from Honduras, and my oldest brother still lives there. So I would teleport there just to visit my brother and tell him how much I love him and kiss my nieces.
Oh, that's beautiful. What is the lowest grade you've ever gotten in class, and what was it for?
Is there an F minus?
Yep, a 0.
Listen, I don't know how I graduated high school. I think they felt sorry for me. Okay, I don't remember doing a day of work, but I failed most of my classes in high school. F's and probably math, English, mostly.
Yeah.
I don't know how I made
Child, listen, and that's another conversation we can have for days because I grew up in a devout Catholic Haitian household where if I thought about bringing home a C, these Haitians up in my house, child. So whew.
That's when you don't really have parents. Nobody's looking. Nobody's like, oh, it just wasn't big in my house.
Yeah.
It wasn't pushed for me.
Right. What's the first thing you notice about someone when you meet them?
their eyes.
Mm.
I can tell kind of what you're thinking the first time I meet you by the way you look at me.
That's interesting. That means you're very in tune. And I can already tell that. Sorry to cut you off, but I can already tell. Well, I mean, like I said, because you used to go to Crunch at 5 a.m., right?
Oh, yeah.
We was part of that 5 a.m. family. I remember seeing you there because we'd be the only two females in the weight section. Yep. Where the weights were. I would like watch what you're doing. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that tomorrow because if I do it today, it's gonna look like I'm just copying her. So I'm gonna come back tomorrow. Yes, but I can I felt that. Like I felt that you had that amazing personality, but I also know it was 5 a.m. in the morning, and I don't like talking to people at the gym. And it was just that whole crew. It was just a 5 a.m. crew. But I could always tell, like, and then even when I met you at Manu Lord's workshop, and we sat right next to each, and I was like, oh, I really like her. Like I vibe with her. So with me, I can always just, the first thing I notice is energy. And it's just my body will automatically, like, I'll just start moving away without realizing if I just can't like feel your energy or if your energy is not good. So I can just, even through your conversation, like, I'm like, oh, I can sit here and talk to her all day and night. Like, it's just.
Your energy definitely flows in your eyes.
Yes.
When someone looks at you, you can already tell how they're looking at you.
Mm.
And I've been in places where I've met people, like when I met you, your eyes were open.
Yes.
Right? And both our eyes were like, girl.
Girl, go on, sit right here, sis. I already got your seat.
Then you'll meet some other people and their eyes don't even move.
Right.
It's like kind of locked on you.
It's cold.
And down, exactly. And you can feel that.
Yes.
When someone is looking at you, their energy is right there.
Right.
And your eyes will tell me, go on over to the other side of the room, dude.
Don't even bring it here. Right. Don't bring it here. Oh. What celebrity annoys you the most?
I'm gonna say sometimes Kevin Hart.
Really? Is it because he does a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like he works so hard to be funny.
Yeah. I can see that.
I feel like you're a funny man. You don't have to work that hard. Just be natural.
It comes out. It just comes out. That's how I feel about Nick Cannon. I feel like Nick Cannon is the person that you'll see him and he just got to be extra so that you can like him. And it's like, bruh, I already think you cool. Like you could stop. And it's just, Nick Cannon.
No, I will always be the life of the party.
Oh,
and I'm like, what's good? I don't need to do extra.
Right.
So when I see other people doing extra, I work for it. You got to do that. Be good.
Carmen, I think we was the same person in a different life. I literally was titled the loud black girl in college on the 4th floor.
Oh, that's me and you both.
If you knew who Shou was, she was the loud black girl that was on the 4th floor, or you knew if I was present at a party. You knew if I was in attendance. I'm telling you. And now if I go somewhere, I still have a similar personality. I'm just not as loud. Or if I'm loud, it's because I'm amongst my family, my comfort zone. It's expected. Or people will be like, oh, you call Shou, she know where to party at. Pause. I'm not doing it like that. That's not me. I have a good time. But I also,
you will see circles of people around me for dancing.
Girl, in the middle of the dance floor.
Now I go to the club. I'm in the back of the club, on the wall. Don't leave me. I'm good. I mean, I don't really floor at all.
Right.
But if I go to a club, I'm chilling.
Right.
I'm up on the wall. I'm just here for vibes.
Right.
So yeah, that has definitely shifted. I'm grateful for that shift too. You know what? You realize how much energy you exert. Right?
Listen.
I don't want to be the life of the party. I'm tired. I have a long day. I just want to come here and hear music and vibe.
Child, because you be trying to go home and don't nobody want to let you leave.
Right. Because now you done gave them something. And now you gotta keep it up.
You gotta keep going. You are a puppet. Child, look at that. Look at that. I done used your word. I mean, now I still go out, but I'm the friend that I'm in a corner. I'm vibing out. Oh, I will sing, dance my entire life away, but I'm in a corner.
Yep.
My friends will rotate and it's like kind of, it's just everybody's assigned their roles. They know Shou's in this corner. Y'all can go circle, say hi to everybody, go see who's here, do all of that. You know, Shou will be right here in this corner. Because I ain't come to the club to go say hi to everybody else that was here. I'm in my corner.
You pass by. Oh, I see you up front. She passed by. How you doing? All right, keep going
That's hey, bye. Go enjoy yourself. You spent $25 to get in here, not to have a conversation with me. Oh, girl. All right, let me find a last good question because, like I said, we're gonna be here the entire night. Oh, you know what? So if you could pick anybody dead or alive to have, a drink and conversation with, who would it be?
I'm gonna say my mother because my mom, I don't know her. She died at 1 year of age, and I only know her through stories.
Right.
Right. And so they have to create her personality for me. And all people is, you are just like your mother.
Girl.
She was so ambitious. She was funny. She was so vibrant. And I'm a Gemini. My mom's birthday was June 2nd. Mine was June 2nd.
Wow.
And I always say I can only imagine how much alike we probably would have got on each other's nerves, but couldn't stay away from each other.
Right. Right.
If I could just sit with her one day to just hear her laugh, see her smile, just talk to her about life, that would be everything for me.
Oh, and you know what? That's the perfect way to end this podcast. Like that right there. But before I do end it, I want you to let everybody know how they can find you, your social media handles, and then we will close out.
Awesome. So I can be reached Instagram at Heal with Carmen B. Facebook, Healthy Energy Actively Living. Check out my website at healwithcarmenb.com. Always open to hearing from my people. Always looking forward for great opportunities to connect with amazing people like Shou.
Girl.
So please, we have so much to do in our community, and we can do so much more together than we can alone. Let's do this.
Let's do this. Oh, all right, guys. Like I said, I'm not even gonna add on to that. I'm smiling ear to ear. Like I love that I started doing Shou Talks because it forces me to have these conversations with people. It forces me to meet amazing people like this. And Carmen, I promise you, I feel like we're twins. I got to go ask my mama, does she have a long lost twin somewhere? Oh my gosh.